To kind of get more involved with the community. I was involved in more county stuff in Oswego. I worked for the county. That's up.
I'm Maureen Sunska, retired middle school teacher. And love this community and just wanted to volunteer. So I'm glad to be here.
Nathan Fuller, Todd Fisher, and where else I think you are. And I've lived here 20 years in 2 sets of 10 hours, 10 years in one section, 10 years in the other.
I'm Karen Parkhurst and I've lived here 52 years. And,
Parkhurst. Are you John's?
No, we're not even related,
Okay.
but his son is in my Rotary Club, so I know John and he lives behind me in White
White
House.
House.
So I'm active in the county board. I'm on the economic development board, chairman of the finance committee, small business committee, and one other committee. And I'm also on the ad hoc housing committee for the county. And then I'm active in Rotary. And in the town, I sit on the Parks and Recreation Committee. And whatever they call the conservation easement committee. It's kind of.
Yeah.
That's on the thing. And I was on the original CIC committee. That was the mother of this.
And this turned into that. So I'm Jared Simpson, town supervisor. I've had a 26-year middle school teaching career. I actually taught with Senska over here. I love every minute of being town supervisor. I've lived in the town for 52 years as well. Moved into Thompson Hospital. It's my dad was town supervisor. It's my home. I love the community and I love everything about it. So I just love being here. And yes, I am 52. So say now she gets these 10. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that thing over.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Anyway, so but I thank you all for being here as part of this. This is very exciting. It's an exciting group and looking forward to continuing the great things that have started in the last 10 years and continuing them.
I'm Kim Burkhardt. I've had quite a long and varied employment history and currently working for the town in the development office. I've lived in Ontario County my whole life, born in the Coaching Springs Hospital when they used to do maternity. And lived in Canandaigua since 2001. And I'm also the ECB chair.
All right.
And we do have a guest.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Dave Mack. I've lived on Acorn Hill Road for the last 9 years. After 30 years in Monroe County, I thought it was time to get out of Dodge. I saw the last email that went out a couple of weeks ago about this committee. Was in touch with Suzanne, and she told me I could feel free to come and observe and be an interloper and see if any of my experience, networks, skill sets might be of use to the committee. 33 years with Gannett and then 17 years with Excelis and in senior executive positions. I always dreamt of working for a company people liked. Never happened. So thank you for being, well, I thank Jared for being enlightened. He said that doesn't happen often.
No, not many people thank me for
I
that.
think it's,
For sure.
I think
Yeah, it's not a word.
compared to a lot of places I've lived.
I hope I
I
agree.
think that a town that is open to ideas from its residents is worth supporting. I'm retiring, so I've got time on my hands.
Can we invite him to?
Yeah.
Yeah. we're just-
Why sit up here? There's plenty of room.
With us at the table.
Come on and interlope at the table.
Oh, yeah, no.
I can barely lope anymore. Still want to play the oldest at the.
And we welcome your expertise. I think I met you on Acorn. I walked out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so now we can just briefly recap the last meeting. At our first meeting last month, we, under the direction of Sue, she led us through basically kind of what our purpose is as a panel, what our goals are. We went over our mission statement, talked about what our major goals are going to be as a panel, what we would really like to see accomplished. From there, the discussions kind of centered on deciding that we would like to do some surveying, just some brief surveying, mainly to kind of test the waters and see what the greater Canandaigua community would like to see from our panel. What sort of events they'd be interested in, what they think we can help do to increase communication and help better the community. The second thing we talked about was actually putting together sort of a welcome packet for new residents to introduce them to the community. We would get in touch with organizations like Rotary, the Chamber of Commerce, put together maybe like a coupon book of the businesses that are in town. Give people, information about the parks and other activities that go on in Canandaigua. So when they move here, they feel like they have a starting place to become involved. So unless anyone has anything else to add from the recap, if we can move on to our agenda tonight.
When you say greater Canandaigua community, are you talking about contiguous towns and city, or are you just talking about the town?
The town.
With large.
Yeah, town. All right, do we have a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
I motion to approve them.
I'll second.
So we got Maureen and Kim second. Right, any opposition? All right, all those in favor?
I,
Right.
Motion carries. Okay. So tonight, I know what we talked about a lot during our first meeting was the importance of the comprehensive plan that the previous, panel, CIC kind of put together or updated at least, as like a good starting place for this panel. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to do anything that hasn't already been done before. And since it is a pretty lengthy document, I didn't want to have us, spend too much time going through that individually. I just found two areas in it that I thought the panel could really benefit from. Specifically, that's the demographics area. They already appears like they did a lot of actual research into the population of Canandaigua. So we don't have to necessarily focus on that when we're doing our surveys. We kind of already have a good sense of the community at large. Specifically, just the biggest points I would like to, kind of make the panel aware of is largest share of residents is in the age group of 45 to 54. The town's median age is, gradually increasing. Most residents choosing to rent now. That's an important thing to keep in mind for reaching out to HOAs and other apartment landlords and stuff like that for things like the welcome packet when we eventually get to that.
Yeah, I found that interesting as well.
What, do you have a percentage of that, most?
If it's
I
in
was
here.
just reading.
So let's see.
Wow.
The change is incredible in that 75 plus community and 35 to 44 age brackets, where there has been an increase of 20% in residents choosing to rent since 2000.
That's incredible.
The change is dramatic in 85 plus group because that's 77%.
There's also 32% of the households that are cost burdened, which I thought was very interesting.
That's one thing that's interesting to know. You don't think about that when you think of Canandaigua. that you would have that, but we are,
We are.
we're not diverse in many ways. But we are very economically diverse within the town. It's not within the town, and especially when you throw in the city in there as well. That 20% number, I don't know what that equates to, as far as that 20% increase in people wanting to rent. I don't have the baseline that was written right when I was coming on board. I don't know what I don't have it in front of me to know if there's a baseline there. That would be interesting too, to know what that 20% increase, what that's from to.
Mhm.
in
What
there.
year? I mean,
Twenty eighteen.
Yeah, 2018.
This was updated in 2019.
Yeah, right before COVID hit, and then made it, most of it up, made a lot of things obsolete, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But a
from the
lot
table
of,
we have, it looks like 85 years older, 85 years and older is 93% of renters. 75 to 84 is 33. 65 and over is 22%.
that are
Yeah.
renters, is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
the 85 and older, I believe they included things like, senior living facilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
Yes.
So that
Would
would
they be considered renters?
Well,
Yeah.
That's what it just went through. I was just wondering. what
Sure, yeah, of
definition
course,
was.
because you think about a month.
Okay.
Facilities.
Okay, so that'd be.
You don't own any property when
Yeah.
you're in them, and the town of Canandaigua has
Yeah.
several of
Yeah. So you're looking at a number of different categories at the same time, and you're looking at things. Frankly, over. In terms of, I wonder whether they'd put, the money for. In other words, wouldn't have a salary. I'm just wondering in terms of getting the categories,
Well,
you know, are they, how passive are, we're gonna get off there.
well,
But
just
how passive
quickly,
would they be?
if you think of the senior facilities in the town of Canandaigua, there's Quail Summit and Ferris Hills.
Right.
And, I challenge you to
Yeah,
be in
okay.
either one of those places for less than $5,000 a month.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So, you know, I know that's what it is
Yeah,
at
right.
Quail
Yeah,
Summit.
so you-
I know Ferris Hills is much more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I do.
you're talking about a wealthier unit of the
Automatically.
population,
Yeah,
the senior
Just
population.
opposite of what I was saying.
The only close one would be Horizons. I don't know what
And
their,
that's much less.
Yeah,
Much less.
that would be the only really close.
Are
Could
they
be
in the
more.
town? Or are they
Horizons
city?
is in the town, yeah.
And the three, affordable units are within the city limits.
Yeah.
Actually, there's another one.
The county one. The Hopewell one.
And then probably just the last big demographic thing I think we should also keep in mind is that population breakdown in terms of gender. Male and female is pretty evenly split. There are slightly more females. That could be something worth keeping in mind, especially when, you know, choosing how we want to try to reach people to drive up engagement.
Okay.
Women are typically more likely to use things like Facebook, things like that, to get information about events and things like that. So if we ever want to advertise anything specifically, that's something we can also keep in mind, that we would more likely try to target, you know, women, mothers, grandmothers. They'd be more likely to kind of engage with things. Like I said, especially on Facebook.
Hello?
I don't know are you starting early tonight for planning board? Okay. I don't know. We're here till
6:30.
6:30.
Tim, did you need something?
Tim, you can join us if you want. I mean, you don't want to stay for an extra thing? Come on.
We'll give you extra credit.
So I just think that kind of having this demographics to go off of, like I mentioned before, will really help us when we do our surveying, so we don't get bogged down trying to find out every little thing about the community. We can more so focus on specifically what they kind of expect from the panel, how we can make our jobs more effective by figuring out how they would like to receive information, what sort of things they think we as a panel can do to help, you know, increase engagement and, communication between the town and the residents. And the other section of the plan that I thought would be extremely pertinent to the panel is the public engagement plan. This is something the CIC put together on how to really spread the word about their updates to the comprehensive plan, and just kind of put into place how they would like to drive up engagement with the community. They have very good list of objectives of what our outreach should really be trying to do. As well as some really.
Can we pull up that to peruse it? Like,
I'm working on it.
oh, okay.
I think it starts on 130.
Is there some?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
it
say
is.
any of these, if you just Google Town of Canandaigua Comprehensive
It
Plan
comes up.
or any of these documents, it comes up and it's very, very helpful.
Do you want a specific section of the plan?
Yeah, page 6 of the plan, if you could. So here's.
It's right here is what you're referring to, Ben.
Yeah, here specifically, it kind of outlines some ideas that they have of not only how to drive up communication, like opinion editorials in local newspapers, varied media outlets, to keep things kind of in the public eye, so we can keep that in mind and how we would like to disperse information. But more importantly, the list of organizations that we can reach out to, become better acquainted with when it comes to how they engage with the community, how we can kind of piggyback off of that, and also pull our resources together when we try to make that welcome package. Things like the Kiwanis, Lions, Rotary clubs, the Chamber of Commerce, things like that would be extremely beneficial to us to really get to know as a panel.
Do you expect to try to target different subsets within the town demographically, psychographically?
We definitely could. Our whole goal is to try to help drive up engagement in the town. So we can, if there's an event targeted for, younger demographics, that it would definitely be worth it if we had a way of picking and choosing what we're advertising for.
The reason I ask is that the word newspaper is up there. I was, through the 1990s, I was president publisher of the Democratic Chronicle. And if we don't live in a news desert, there is no such thing. Papers aren't worth the powder to blow them to hell. And TV is fragmented, radio is micro fragmented, so is social media is pretty much what you have left. But depending on newspapers to get the word out.
But we did talk at the last meeting about, and I've talked with a lot of my neighbors, and I know we do have, in our neighborhood, we have Facebook HOA. Talked about a lot of the people in my neighborhood still want something in print, believe it or not, they really do. They miss.
So they're old.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all
Very good.
and I like something
Very
in
good.
print, so there is still a need for that and you said the demographic is between, what was the median age?
45, 50.
Yeah, so I do think we need something.
I
That-
agree with you, but I don't think they need newspaper.
I'm not saying it's a newspaper,
Yeah.
but I don't know,
I
something,
think things have changed since this was.
yeah.
Oh,
developed.
yes.
Do we have any particularly friendly, do we have any media friends in particular? People who
It's-
are open.
We don't have any media.
Well, as far as supportive, I mean, the most supportive one, I mean, we have Mike Murphy from the Messenger, who is excellent if you reach out and say, hey, look at what's happening. I mean, if we were to say, hey, Mike, we're doing an article where we have this committee. He would come in and say, and fit it in and come in and do something about it. If we said, Mike, we have this thing going on, especially if it involves food or beer, he would promote it. Yeah, so he would promote these things and he is the one, if I would want anything out there that I would go to get that out. That's really all we have. And the problem is the readership for that isn't as large for the Messenger. The Finger Lakes Times readership is now larger than the Messenger. It
Is
brings,
the messenger still in print or is it
Yeah.
all online?
It's in
I
print.
think it's
Is it?
online.
No, a lot of it is, but
Is it still there?
There's still a
There is still-
Yeah. In a few years.
yeah.
yeah, it'll be gone. And it's,
Well,
the-
sort of,
and it's the same as the
it's sort of
Democrat
gone
too.
anyway.
It's the same paper now.
Well, it's Gatehouse Meeting,
Yeah,
it's no longer Gannett.
No.
So we-
And they are,
Advertising
if you look
that.
at the Democrat Chronicle each day, the big article on the front page is about which new bar, which new restaurant. Which new event.
Yeah.
For toddlers is.
it's not new, it's not news anymore. Do we do a town, I mean, we have a town newsletter,
We
thanks
talked-
to this
talked
lady,
about
this
that.
young lady right here. Do,
Yesterday.
do
I'm
we,
gonna read it sooner or
I
later.
read it.
do we do a print edition of that quarterly? Put it with water bills? Do we try to come up with some sort of something to get information in people's hands? Even if it's a page folded in half, so it's cheaper, somehow to get information in people's hands, so we have a paper to reach those other
Town of
groups.
Farmington does that.
Yeah.
With their water bills, and the town of Manchester does it
Mhm.
with their water bills. They have a smaller version of
Right.
our newsletter. But, you know, folks, you gotta realize, you know, we're in the 21st century. And most people do not read newspapers. I get a newspaper every day, only because it has 2 crossword puzzles in it. And that's all that, and I read the obituaries. Anyway, we've got to do things like, and not just Facebook, and I can tell you that many older people, they don't want to bother with Facebook.
Yeah.
Younger people, it's Instagram.
And part of this,
But
we're
there,
gonna solve a problem who we wanna talk to beside other
but
demographics.
there's other ways of disseminating information. And I've said it for years that I put it into the water bills.
Mhm.
But we also have this thing called our town dump. And unless you've been there,
Been there.
you are missing the experience of a lifetime.
Been there.
I don't know if I'd call it that.
Yes,
Still
my
calling it
question-
dump too, huh?
My
Yeah.
question, Jared, is it cost effective? How much would that cost
If we put
to
it,
mail
We
that?
have
Like,
like a table on the side and put a big sign on the front, monthly newsletter,
yeah,
or, you know,
no, I'm talking about mailing it, to
mail?
do the mail in the water bills.
if it was
like, is
quarterly in the water bills,
like
you would
what
pay for
is-
printing, which would be minimal. I think we budget to, and I'm in the process of trying to buy a stuffing machine, a folder stuffer, so we can do do all that in-house. I would say the postage for that, for the 4 water bills is around 20,000 for the year.
But then you
Um,
miss the rent.
so it might add.
But then you would miss the renters and you would miss the other,
So
yeah.
you'd have to do other vehicles.
Yeah.
Actually, you can put a second sheet in.
it's not gonna make it more expensive,
It's
no.
still gonna
That's
cost
what I'm
you.
asking.
So it's the
Is it-
same price, it's just printing and we print them in-house, front and back, if it limited to 1 sheet. Color, make it pretty.
If it's
Key
cost
ideas.
effective, then it's not gonna cost the town any more money. I say it's worth a try.
That's,
I-
that's
I'm
all
gonna
I think,
just-
we need to try.
We need
these
to try
things
it.
And see what works.
Right.
I still
Like
think
a
you have to
scaled
think
down
of your
online one.
audience or who
We
you
just
wanna
have to
get.
decide what we want.
And
Yeah.
instead of.
Well, I think we wanna get everybody. I mean,
Well-
isn't that our goal to get?
Then you pay for that. I'm I'd like to suggest that you go to you have. Opinion polls and stuff like that, dealing with only the meeting, people who come to meetings.
Say that again, Nick. Say that again.
Sure. And you want to try to get your influencers. You don't want to try to get, I mean, I'm not saying these people are bad, I'm not saying.
No, I
that.
know.
What I'm suggesting is you, what do you want in the town? You want to give the people information why? And what we're saying is, what you're hearing is a number of different things. What I'm hearing on one side is, hey, yeah, then nobody reads the newspaper. Hey, try this here, voting, the only people you want to get there are the people going to the dump. What you're trying to target, it would seem to me, are the people who are going to change the opinion or change the direction, whatever it's going to be, not us, of the town. And what I'm suggesting is where you get those people, are the ones that are angry, the ones who want to get involved, ones who want to change something. Why? It could be anything. You're, I can put note on it.
Mhm.
So it would seem to me that we have to think of where we want, not so much according to their birthdays or their gender or anything like that. What you want is to try to get with the people who seem interested in what's going wrong with the town or interested in what's going right with the town. Sort of what Jared was figuring, was a little group like.
Where are those people?
That's, I'm suggesting it's the people who come to your meetings.
Okay, let me tell you.
So Karen.
I've been coming to town meetings, town board
Yeah.
meetings for the past 20
Okay.
years, right? And we're lucky if there's more than 4 people there.
Okay.
Sometimes we've got more. Once in a while, a few times a year, we'll have bigger crowds, but usually it's,
If there's an issue,
Are we on,
Yeah.
are we on task?
There'll
You wanna
be
keep
more.
us on task,
But-
right?
pretty regularly, the same 4 people show up.
I think we need to keep coming back to our mission statement too.
Mhm.
Like, what is our purpose of this committee? You know what I mean?
That's exactly
It's-
what we have next is, like now that we have some newer voices at the table and, we talked about what we did last time. I think-
I've got minutes, so.
I think it would be better to, kind of revisit the mission statement. If anyone has any additions, deletions, to kind of more clearly define what it is we would like to do. I can read for you all the mission statement right now, if no one has it in front of them. It's a panel of engaged citizens that promotes the town of Canandaigua through effective communication, citizen education, advises the town board on future growth and development, and presents suggestions and issues brought forward by town residents.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And I think maybe I'm off base, but I thought the purpose of doing like the surveys or polls or whatever was to kind of find out what the citizens were interested in. And so you kind of want to include everybody. I mean, the unfortunate thing is, and I know when it was tried before and you don't get that many responses, but I think
There
at
you
least
go.
you get something, you know, and I think that's where you have to, I think that's where we're going with trying to figure out what platforms to use and how to go about doing that.
Exactly.
with a comprehensive plan.
We did that survey. with
There were surveys that were done that were handed out every day for months at every opportunity. They were mailed out, handed out, given out. There were public sessions. And how were there like 200 or 300 response? There weren't a lot of respondents.
Like 170 responses.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of responses
Survey
to that,
responses.
but that's gonna be that's gonna happen.
But the meetings, I believe, were more successful than the survey.
Yeah,
Because it gave people an opportunity to talk and say, I'm concerned about this, or I'm concerned about that. And even though I think we had usually between 15 and 20 people at a meeting, I think those were more effective.
Well, I understand, at a meeting of.
This was
What's
just
the
for the
reason for the meeting?
just for the comprehensive
Oh,
plan.
okay,
That was done in 2019, it's dated 2020. So I think we had 4 or 5 meetings. But we had them throughout the town, we had them at the airport, at the Cheshire Fire Hall, throughout the town, so. We tried to hit different areas of population.
So do you think that could be something this panel tries to do as well? Maybe hold our meetings in different locations advertise if someone has an idea,
Interesting idea.
they can.
You know,
I like that idea.
I like that idea too. What do you think?
I mean, we could use Cheshire Fire Hall, we
the
could use,
Cheshire
we could
Fire
use the
Hall.
Grange Hall, they would love that if
The
we could.
airport. I can
we
get
could
Bob
have one
to
in the airport. The other thought that
We could do the airport and have like a little, I mean, I pretty much gave Bob Minzer his job,
yeah,
so.
Oh, he owes you.
I know he would be okay with
Right.
this. And you know, with a little blurb on what is the airport, how does it work?
It's a
et cetera.
great idea.
And maybe, I think events like that, you know, I'll tell you. Real quickly, I'll tell you the one thing that really engaged a lot of people is when we have that history thing.
we had 100 people,
We had more than 100.
we had in Cheshire at the fire hall.
And they put up, it was strictly
Yeah.
about history, about the history of certain things. I can't remember what it was, because I hate history, but anyway, we have all these charts that are in that back room on the walls, and people. When they have a break, they walk around, they read them, then they have questions at the end about
That's
these
great.
things. So it engaged them, we didn't even give them the information, they saw it there and they looked at it. And it caught on and engaged them, and there has not been a meeting like that since.
What about, I think Kelly said about, you know, we are missing some of the renters and the others.
Well, that's what I
What
was just
about-
gonna ask them.
We could target, doing something like this at Quail, at
Whale
Ferris.
would be more than. happy.
I had a great meeting there
Yeah.
a month or so ago and hitting some of those locations. If you want people who are engaged and a little bit more militant, no offense if any of you are part of these, but HOAs are very engaged and very militant at times with
Yeah,
things
that's
that they.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cause where I live, there's an HOA.
And some of them are more active than others, but there are some that are,
I'm at Fox Ridge.
yeah.
Yep.
So they have meetings, they come here every month, once a year and have their annual meeting
Right.
here.
Yeah,
So they're very engaged with what goes on.
yeah, and they
So-
have an email that they go
Right,
on. they
so
have a
that
page,
Would be
all
another way to get people. The hammocks, if we had a meeting there,
They have
they would let us in to have a community
a
meeting.
wide range of ages.
They've got they've got a little bit of everything over
that.
there.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's all in, I think in target groups. I don't think you can sit back and say, I'm gonna reach everybody in town of Canada.
No.
But if you identify target groups, and typically those are the ones that are more active. You might have an impact.
Kim, did you have some?
Yeah, just an idea on the survey. I did a lot of survey work and stuff when I was at Sonnenberg. And sometimes a little, it can't be a big thing, but a little thing to sweeten the pot, so like a little raffle of.
Yeah.
Respondents, you can have people sponsor, you know, you can have your different businesses around town sponsor something little, you know, like $20 gift certificate to eat at someplace out or something. And sometimes that will make all the difference of people answering your statement.
Sister Chairman, Bill telling me if I'm overstepping statuses and intervals. There are two entities that know every person and every address in the utility and the post office. Have we ever tried to reach out to either? And in fact, when I was a publisher, we struck a deal with our RG&E. And we had, we reached more than 90%.
Your postal paper type thing, your postal paper patron type thing,
No,
or to the.
Was it in the bill?
It would have to be.
what, in the utility?
In the
The
utility bill.
utility, we paid the utility a small fee
Oh,
and said, you've got an envelope going out. It's not gonna cost you any more to put a coupon this size in with your bill. And being the public spirited organization that you are, having printed Okay, shut up.
No, if you want to do advertising like that, there's also those, you know, those little envelopes and coupons you get,
Yep, the value pack.
the value pack.
I love those.
You can,
Coupon.
you can get it, they get slipped inside of those, and there's a lot of different options.
It's
Good stuff.
interesting that we're talking about mass audiences. When mass media have died.
You know, the whole thing, the literature is following along the running way, where it was, early on, I mean, maybe they've done another book since, is that everybody's alone these days.
That's a lot of people.
All your volunteer organizations, everything has gone to crap. And so what we're dealing with is that same issue, is everybody's in their own little cubicle by themselves. And, nothing gets them out of it until they get threatened somehow.
Provoked
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah. Or feel threatened, someone in the election,
Like COVID.
yeah.
I don't know. Because I've been out of the ranks of salaried workers for a few years now. But I don't know who the hot agency is around here in terms of figuring out which social media platform, which publication, which online sites are most effective. But I know who I'd call if I wanted advice. Even that world is turning itself inside out and upside down. Because 20 years ago, anybody ever read the book Bowling Alone? It was written in the late 90s.
Right,
And it predicted exactly what you
Right.
said.
Right.
There is an agency that I can recommend for reaching out. And they might not be the agency to help us in the town, but they might know who it is.
I said this last time, but this was always our constant problem when I was in the council of aging, committee of aging, was how do we communicate? And so I left as a new director came in, and now I know new things are happening. What I'd like to be able to do is just have your okay to go and talk with the head of it. I really don't know. And find out what was their process for finally getting their way of contacting people. And they're getting the opinions back. You know, I know now what the base, but way they contact me is, well, you're on the board, so you're still getting stuff from there. But it's phone, I think I mentioned this last time. They have an automatic phone coming in all the time with anything significant that's happening. But I'd like to know how they got there and why they got there and what the results are right now, because they had, you know, the reason this would come up there is that was a constant thing, is how do you get the older people involved in? I just like, so if we're gonna continue this type of discussion, it looks like we will. If you don't mind, I'd like to go and say that you know, this is what we've been talking about, what's happened with you. And I talked to Irene, who used to be the person I was close to over there. If she's back, when she retired, she said she was going across the United States for about here first. So I don't know whether she's back yet, but I'd like to have your okay to go and at least get that information and bring it to you. If you're interested.
I'm cool with that. I mean, more information we have, yeah. Thoughts? What do you guys think?
That's, I don't want to overstep because I'm just a non-voting person. I'm just a fly on the wall, but I think that's the point of this whole thing is to divvy it up and to get everybody,
Everybody,
bring in everybody involved. I think that would be fantastic.
I guess my question is, how are we gonna engage up 32% that are impoverished? That's the cohort that I think, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
That's like,
exactly what
that
you're saying
we're
about
not
the
gonna,
challenge.
that's gonna be a challenge, and I think that's the voice that we aren't gonna hear from.
Which one? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
The 32%, that was, I don't know how
Economically at risk.
economically
Oh,
at risk.
Okay.
Because those are the voices I think we need to hear, like, how can we also serve that for the population? And you know, and I know just from being in school that those are the people that need,
Frankly, we need to hear from any voices.
Yeah.
right, that's what I'm saying,
Because
you know.
currently, we don't hear
We don't
from
hear
any of them. I mean, I have a very loud mouth and they hear from me once a month, but that's not good enough. So I think, I frankly thought the new resident packet was a great idea.
Yeah, no, I love that.
And even though you're targeting a new resident, a new subculture, at least you're targeting someone, and maybe you'll grab 10% of those people to be involved, because that's what we need. We need people to be involved.
I was also looking at, like, I know through, I don't know where else that I read it, like the school district, we had, where we used to send out through Braves linked, right? We used to do like an email blast to parents. So that's,
Well, we have the app.
we have the app, and that's a great way that
Yeah.
reaches like pretty much all the people with kids,
Yeah.
that
Do you need
demographic.
something?
How do you
No, there is no court tonight.
email?
It's Thursday nights.
I think there's.
No, did the court, did it? Huh?
Have to be the judge.
I'm bad, so.
She's early for today's.
But
How we doing on the agenda? So we stay on task.
But I think the survey is a good way to reach certain people, but then I think having these meetings in other locations in town, advertising them.
I like that.
That's another way where we can meet people where they are. I think honestly, like holding a meeting kind of like this at the school, I think would attract parents. some
Okay, now,
kids. Yep.
okay, now I'm going to sit here and tell you what I advocate for on a regular basis in this town, and that is accessibility.
Mhm.
Because you have a population over the age of 65 in this town. And those tend to be the more active people. Why? Because they have more time on their hands. But they also are the least able to walk into that school anywhere. And I can tell you that right now. So you're better off having something that's a distance like right here to this room, the Cheshire Fire Hall. Are you familiar with that?
Mhm.
Okay, close distance. The airport, close distance. One other place. I absolutely do not think the school is a good place
Tell me why?
because it's too far for the older population to walk to.
Well, my.
Well, the
thing with
airport, are you
school-
talking the airport on,
With the city.
Yeah, and then
Make more city.
You can park right next to it and walk right into the building.
I don't know how you. So.
but you can
I'm sorry,
park
you
next to the
can't
school and
cut
walk
me
in,
loose.
I guess I'm confused.
No, you can't.
But I mean, we do.
I was just thinking-
You can,
Yeah,
but any
it's like
room
that,
you have to go
getting you a
to,
different
you have to walk
subset
down
of
the hall.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Well,
don't
we
know if
could-
there's like daycare centers or something like that.
I
where
would
you'd maybe
personally
reach that.
suggest maybe every other meeting be someplace else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We won't have Zoom. So especially in the winter time, that might be more of an option for people who
Mhm.
don't wanna drive or go out in the cold weather. Or call in Florida, as it may be, so
What we gotta be able to do, it seems. to me,
Another one is the library.
libraries.
Is a
Yeah.
place that you can always get over that big room and they, right. There's the door right from the parking lot and so.
Can I just interrupt real quick?
Huh?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the idea of moving around, and I know that's something that Jared and I have talked about, and kind of in conjunction with this panel, this committee, is really telling the town story. And I think the best way we do that is having these meetings where we can showcase some of the best things about our town, such as the parks, and so whatever those areas are that we identify that we want to tell that story of. What a great place to invite the people to come in and have our meeting there. So I just think that's a phenomenal idea.
And I think the reason for the meeting has to be very clear when you're advertising it. Because if this is new, this is, we're really searching for ideas. And we're really gonna do something.
Right.
We've got to do, one thing is we've got to make it clear that we're open for ideas. We have to be searching for something we can do right away to show the populace at large that it is possible to achieve something in the town of Canandaigua. Once you got that somehow, then the rest flows.
Doesn't have to be a huge one.
No, it just has to get in the newsletter. You know, and so what I'm saying is I'm really for having the meetings as we move around. But we have to have a purpose in having the meetings, and I think the purpose, first of all, has to be in our advertisement of the meeting is to show what we do. So that's and then try to get something to do as a result of these meetings in general. So we can have, so we only have a few meetings and then we make a decision of what we're gonna do. In other words, you have too many meetings, we're not gonna do anything, we're just gonna talk. So you gotta make your decision within, or whatever we figure out, of what to do, so then we begin to have, lay the groundwork for them to perhaps seeing things a little bit differently.
I think that kind of ties into another thing that I think we should, since we are still very early on, is we should really think about, because I know we have the app now that's live. We're gonna have a page on the website for the panel. We're gonna have something on the apps for the panel as well. We should kind of really think about what kind of information we want to have representing the committee, to basically introduce ourselves to the community. I know on our first agenda for our first meeting, there was the idea written there of maybe like a press release. I saw that the town had on their Facebook, they posted about, you know, our first meeting and the panel. But it may be something like that could go into the newsletter to basically be our introduction to the community of who we are, what we're going to do, our plans, you know, have these meetings in the community to hear directly from concerned residents. And I just wanted to kind of throw that out. If anyone has any ideas of how we can, like what information we should really present to the public.
I think the first thing is you have to worry about the information, but I think the first thing is that you get a good one sentence. Whatever it's gonna be, that takes
parts of the mission
take
statement.
that mission statement,
I
subject, verb, object, you know.
It's like a theme almost.
Yeah.
Synthesizes it a little bit.
That's all that people talk about these days, is whatever, in short sentences, I don't want to get into the cynicism behind this, but that's why you can't write more than 200, not even that. Oh, there it is. Democratic Chronicle, if you want to write an opinion piece, 400 words.
Yeah, like this is a lot.
But that's a teacher, you know, I mean, that's me, but we really do need that, break that mission statement, maybe that's
I
something.
agree.
We used to
Think
call them elevator speeches.
Okay.
The idea
Yeah, I
that
know.
if you're taking an elevator ride with somebody, you've got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And you wanna get something across in language that grabs them.
Yeah,
And
She lost it.
you know, is a bit.
What?
She lost her internet.
Yeah, I noticed.
Maybe she shouldn't move it forward.
She
The
We'll give her
newsletter
that excuse.
will, I think is, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but it's usually like a week before the end of the month.
Okay.
That's when I do content by. So if you wanna, you want the newsletter.
So one thing I've been doing right now, the joy of doing the budget and putting it together while we speak right now.
We need,
I just added $5,000.
You're giving us $5,000 since something.
They're negotiating right now.
Karen's negotiating with me.
Meetings.
7,500.
You know what they're negotiating, right?
They're
Negotiating.
going to cut it. So you always ask for more
Yeah,
and know you're going to get less.
Look at her little
And
negotiator.
then if you're on the committee, you know that that's what's happening.
All right, so I will take it up to 75.
Whoa, that was smooth.
Listen, I'm advocating for this, so I want it.
It was his
So-
idea.
I'm going to, and I'm putting it in mailing because I don't have another line for it right now.
No, materials, print materials.
It's printing and mailing
Okay,
contractual.
that's good.
And since we're running low on time.
Yeah, we are.
So what we could do in the newsletter, real quickly, is we want to hear from you in big letters, right? And then in smaller letters about any concerns you have in the town. Any, I don't care what it was, you know, your dog doesn't have a place to pee.
And
Yeah,
suggestions.
yeah, I don't want it to just be negative. Let's do
And give them a
ideas.
email address to email those ideas to.
Hopefully one set up specifically for that.
What?
One set up
Yeah,
specifically for that.
specifically for that, yes.
Because
I think that, you know, it's gotta catch their eye, and it's gotta be short and sweet, because they're not gonna read any further, if you have that mission statement there. Honestly, people do not read mission
No.
statements.
we're not gonna read that.
No, but they'll read something that's underneath the headline that says.
That absolutely,
Things are changing in the town of Canterbury.
And that can
Some
go
of
under
those
that.
changes can affect you.
exactly, and that's another thing, but. I can just envision largely, we wanna hear from you.
I think you're right. I think that's kind of how we should kind of brand the panel as almost being the link between the residents and the
Exactly.
town.
And the town,
And like maybe have like a more flowery language to that,
Like
but
come
that
up
could
with a
be
little
like
jingle.
the theme of it essentially.
Jingle, we need a marketing person.
The ear,
Seriously.
the ear.
So Sue, one thing Sue will be doing, yeah, she's not,
She doesn't know yet.
She doesn't
she doesn't know, so
That's
she
her
got
fault.
kicked off.
Oh, we lost her?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
her internet went out.
That's all.
She's in Florida. She's
So-
in there.
She is starting coordinating information on the app. She has been totally revamping the webpage. It's not live yet, but she's been making it much more vibrant and much more interactive, the town
Oh
webpage.
my God, it needs it.
So she has been working on that. We had the company come in and redo the format, and she's in the back end updating everything. She is going to be, I mean, we've got Kim doing the newsletter. Sue is going to be kind of coordinating the social media that goes out. So we don't have 10 or 12 things going out at the same time, which we've got how many people? We've got like 3 or 4 people who post
At least.
at least. And if you have everybody sending one thing and not, you need a kind of a clearinghouse, otherwise people get inundated. So she's working with that. The town board meeting in September, on September 22nd, all of this stuff is going to be showcased as an improved way to get people out and involved. This might be part of that.
Not till September, what about August?
I'm not here. I haven't taken my son out of school, so I won't be here in August.
So does that mean there's not gonna be a town?
No, there's a
meeting?
town board meeting, but I don't want to miss it. I'm being selfish.
Go to
I'm being selfish,
it. Well, you're not gonna at least not just disappear.
but I'm being fully honest.
That's,
I want to be here for part of that, be there for that, but. And it might not even be ready then with the back end of with the webpage, because
That
that's,
stuff always takes you longer.
it does, and there are always glitches, and it's, yeah.
And they're done that.
So, that's where we are with that, and I just put 7,500 in the budget. For, don't ask for a penny more or a penny less. I just put money in the budget, so at least there will be something there for printing and for those beginning stages to get things off the ground.
I love her idea of, and I think we need to tweak it and make it, we want to hear from you, issues, ideas. I love that idea. I think that's where we start. Next, like, ASAP. I love that idea.
people read that newsletter. And thank you, Kim, they read it. It's eye-catching. And, you know, she uses the different elements of print very well.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do
Yep,
when you're
we need
trying to market to
Yep.
people.
I think that's what we have to do. We have to market ourselves to the people in order to hear from them. So I really like that. That
next meeting for sure. Not done it. I forget it now, but we didn't have here, printouts for, stuff like this. So that we're all on the same
Yeah.
accurate page.
Susan,
we-
she could have been.
Yeah.
Can Sue do that for us? Can
Oh,
she
yeah.
print
Yeah.
like the minutes and all these things
Yeah,
we
and
just
should
talked
have
about?
Printed minutes, I think.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, because I have them here, but it's not the same,
Yeah.
you know.
I think
Um,
that was the only thing. Okay.
Did we get through everything that we needed to, or I know there's a couple things that we.
Just the last thing is, the survey.
Sir,
Just kind of locking in a few things, as I know last time we really talked about that the best way we can. Get the most responses is if we did the MailChimp, the blast mail service that the town currently uses. We would just use the mailing list the town already has. Again, rather than starting completely from scratch. If anyone has any issues with that, I think MailChimp is our most effective way to do that.
That's a good idea, and I like the idea of do like a raffle for a gift card or something, because that you will get more
To
people
encourage
to do it that
What
way.
about doing your research on? I mean, Survey Monkey is something that,
That's sort of one of the ones I had three that I thought Susan reproduced, but I can't remember the names of the whole of them.
that
The
doesn't.
survey
cost
Monday
anything.
came out right all the time, and I was consulting.
Mhm.
My kids would use stuff like this. all the
Google
time.
Forms is another one.
Google
Yeah,
Forms
that's
was
the
really-
one that they all had.
That's-
They
Yeah.
like Google Form, mostly because you can use pictures and stuff in, which. That's time, anyway, I forget the name of the third one. At least, the third one was, I'm dealing with Denver and Albany, plus international, so
Mhm.
I can try to get that stuff. So, but we use those, what we're saying is, no, don't do Survey Monkey or any stuff like that. But use the what makes sense to me, is would use stuff.
Use the MailChimp, and then, but we do use Survey Monkey as part of sometimes.
Mhm.
But we also, I've used Google Forms, we've used all sorts of things. For that, any of the free things. I mean, Google is nice because you can link it in and then you can put it out to a spreadsheet and you can get data and you can manipulate it. So you have more options rather than, and you own it rather than with anything else that you are kind of stuck to what they
And
give
just to
you.
be clear, MailChimp is the email service.
Yeah.
We could use Google Form as the poll.
as the poll, to
Okay.
pull
Yeah.
in that vehicle,
Yeah,
right?
That's what I
Jerry?
thought,
Underneath.
old notes, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And I know we're kind of over on time, but
Sorry.
just
Mhm.
any, does anyone have any ideas for what our questions in that survey should be?
I think it would be smart to hold off and see if we get any replies from the newsletter.
Mhm.
Because then those would be the things that we would want to take to the entire population. Are you concerned about parks, or are you concerned about city water? Because there's many town residents who do not have city water. Are you concerned about sewers,
Mhm.
which they always want to know about, things like that.
Environment's always a problem.
Mhm.
Say again?
Environment.
Environment's always a problem.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the town comprehensive plan, there were 10 items for the vision: agriculture, natural resources, cultural and historic resources, the parks and rec, economic development, tourism, residential development, protect the hamlets, especially Cheshire, transportation or infrastructure, which is the water, the sewer, the internet, high-speed internet, and then the town operations. So maybe
Also,
our
affordable
questions,
housing needs to go on there.
affordable housing should.
And the lake.
Well, that's in here. That's our
Okay.
natural resources. So affordable
Well,
housing
no,
is
it's gotta
residential.
be separate from natural resources. Because I guarantee 50% of the people don't know the lake's a natural resource.
Oh, come on, seriously. But I
Well,
think
that's
those
simple.
are, maybe
Really?
that's where we start with our questions.
So kind of having.
I believe it.
What's most important to you,
Really?
and you like.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
say-
kind of what, that's
These
what the
are
comp
10,
plan did.
these are in the town
That's what
plan.
the
They could
Yeah.
rank those too.
Mhm.
That's what, that's not my idea.
They're
that's
not
Tim's idea.
ranked in there.
Oh,
They're
That's
not,
Tim's idea.
yeah,
That's a good idea.
but they could
That's a
rank
good start.
those.
Mhm.
Unless we can
So
figure out
those-
other categories too. Well, that's an ongoing
You know, just
thing.
put other.
Oh, there you go.
And you can actually have a feature in there where you write in
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
don't
Right,
have
right.
something listed there,
Right.
so
But I think that,
that's a good question.
This meeting-
Is it worth
This is
including a
not-
question about
Yeah,
what's
they-
like
they-
your
No,
preferred
so they don't
mode of
have to be.
communication?
It's- yeah.
I like that.
It's a panel, it's
Yeah.
more
Whether
of
it's
an informal
email,
committee.
I love that.
Paper.
Yeah,
Eventually, I'm sure that we will start posting them when the page is up and running. Or at least weekly update, monthly updates of what's happened.
and maybe we tweak this.
Because we want to get it
Town
out there.
operations to me.
It's just to
is
what detail and
maybe-
extent
I mean, I would
we
have to
wanna
go
go
back in and read in the plan,
Yeah.
exactly, you know what I mean, maybe we
Like
tweak it for our,
transparency in government.
Correct.
something.
Yeah.
We need to
I also
know
think we
who we
could
are
keep the
first and know the
survey to
direction
a
first
very
before
bare
that's out
minimum.
there.
Maybe
Okay.
like 3 questions where we just kind of,
That would be great.
yeah, because I think right now, if we have that, the first question being like, what are, the top 3 issues most important to you? We give them those options,
Right.
let them rank them. They
Exactly.
can have the option to write in something if it's not listed there. Next, what would be your preferred mode of communication? Just so that
And
way.
give them options. You're gonna have to give them options for
Of course,
everything.
of course.
Really, because basically people are dumb.
well, I don't like to think that.
And then maybe like one other question that maybe could kind of deal with something with our mission, like how. I'm trying to think of,
How can we better serve you or something like that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want out of the panel? Maybe like
Yeah.
a way of asking that,
I like that.
because the first question is more so. The issues that are important to them that we would relate to the town board and, try to instigate change that way. But I think it would be important if we could kind of gauge. What they want to know about us, what we can do. What they would like the panel to really do for them.
How many questions are you seeing on this survey?
I would like to like maybe those 3, like just.
3 and then
Just
the-
3 general questions like that.
Is this?
Everything
paper-
that he
what-
just
what-
said,
where
is
this
that
gonna be
being
at?
like
On
taped,
paper
so it's all,
Yeah.
Over the
it's,
internet?
Over
because I won't remember it, but it was good
Or
stuff.
Google Forms.
Okay, all right.
I put up the videos every couple of weeks.
I
They'll be
can see it
available
myself.
on YouTube channel.
A question, is our next meeting September 3rd, that Tuesday? That's what I
First
had,
Tuesday
right?
is
September
what we kind of
3rd.
agreed on.
Day
Right.
after
Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Yeah.
it's gonna be- I was gonna make the-
Labor Day.
Labor Day is the
Okay,
second,
December.
Yeah. that's what I have. September 3rd.
Tuesday.
Thanks for the budget, Simpson.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Is everyone still good with the 5:30 time, 5:36?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Right.
I can tell you the one meeting I won't be here is the October meeting. I'll be in Europe.
Oh,
It's a
I
shame.
went to Winter River Cruise.
which one are you doing?
It's in Avalon, fly into Amsterdam, and we do the Moselle Valley, the Rhine, go through Germany and end up in Paris.
Well,
So,
we did,
miss you
one
all.
from. and
Are
we
you doing
did
a river
Vans.
cruise?
River Cruise.
I
yeah.
thought
Which
they,
river
by Viking
cruise?
or
Avalon. No,
Viking?
Avalon,
Oh,
yeah.
So
I thought that, that's really, those are great.
So I just wanted to let you know that now.
I've done
I feel
2
bad.
Euro once.
What?
I've done 2 Euro once.
Yeah, we-
Yeah, man.
Run from
we-
just to close out the meeting,
Yeah, sorry.
can we get a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any other-
No, those are great.
So I taught Spanish, so now I have to beef
Oh.
up on French
We got
and.
COVID Spain last summer, Christmas.
Did you?
Appreciate it.
Yeah,